We have all had those albums that completely molded us into the humanoids that we are today. Whether it was a guitar riff, whether it was an amazing trap beat, we all remember the music. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some albums that helped shape me. Before we get in the video though, please like and subscribe and let me know down in the comments your list of albums that really helped shape you guys into the people that you are today. For the people that don't know me or my channel, I talk about a bunch of up and coming bands, talk about the underground, but my musical journey did not start with rock and roll, brother. It started off with rap. First album that I'm going to talk about is Unknown Memory by Young Lean. I am about 23 years old, turning 24 this year, but this released in 2014, so damn near 11 years ago. God damn, 11 years ago. I remember 2014 being basically like 8th grade, about to go be a freaking high school freshman, 2015 era type beat. And honestly, bro, like freaking kindergarten up to like freaking 7th grade, I didn't really look for music. Whatever was on the radio, I just listened to. And I honestly don't remember how I stumbled upon Young Lean, bro. I honestly can't remember, but I do have a very clear memory of listening to this album and one specific song in general. After freshman year, and I had to do summer school, and I remember summer school, I was listening to Lean World on SoundCloud repeatedly, and it was just like, oh my goodness, this song is hitting like crazy right now. This song is the greatest music I've ever heard in my entire life. Lean World on Unknown Memory was my shit and forever will be my shit. I do think that there's clearly better songs on here, like you got Yoshi City, Ice Cold Smoke, a bunch of shit, you know, iconic at this point. But for some reason, that song Lean World was gravitating to me, you know what I'm saying? I was gravitating towards the song. The autotune isn't even like annoying, because autotune at that point, I don't know, for some reason I just thought of like T-Pain and shit. So not that T-Pain sucks or anything, but that's all I could think of. But everything was so cloudy, everything was so beautiful, everything was so smoky and vibrant at the same time. I freaking loved it. This 100% kind of just gave me just like that alternative type of rap sound that I didn't know I wanted, but I was now looking for. So this for sure like opened the floodgates, and at this point everybody knows, very influential, a pioneer. And I feel like people that don't really enjoy Young Lean, I understand like where you're coming from, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes like it's not the craziest shit you'll ever hear, but the whole entire vibe is what a lot of people have been inspired by. And I don't have to tell you all this shit because you know it at this point, but I was very much so blown away at that time, like 10, 12, whatever years ago, and I'm realizing I'm pretty damn old. So like sophomore, junior year, crazy listening to Lil Peep, and my favorite Lil Peep music of all time is Lil Peep, Boy Fruit, Mall music. Unbelievable. Still some of his best music, best hooks, best melodies, in my opinion. And I am so mad that bro did not live. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he would have went a different route. We don't know musically wise. But dude, I'm telling you, Mall music is damn good. It kind of has like those Young Lean elements. The freaking beats are ghostly. The beats are freaking dope. It's different. It's not just the normal trap beats. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I was just looking for something different, and I stumbled upon this. You know what I'm saying? And this is all I would listen to, bro. Every time there would be like a passing period and you got to go to class or whatever, I just have this, put one song on, go to class, turn off the music, think about the music until class was done, and then do the same thing. Auto-tune is awesome. The lyrics are like, you know, classic Lil Peep. You know, sometimes there's like some cringe stuff in there. And yeah, maybe it'll make you feel a little bit down. But to me, that music where I'm just like in my teenage years with a bunch of anger and a bunch of sadness or whatever. And this 100% where I was like, I just want to listen to like underground stuff, and I want to keep listening to these newer rappers, newer whatever, and then later I would transition into underground bands. So it's kind of like the same thing, but I feel like finding underground bands is a little bit easier than underground rappers at this point in time. I could talk about this album or mixtape forever, but I will not. Staying in that realm, 2018 Icedancer by Bladee. Are you kidding me? This was, I've heard of Bladee up at that point because of Young Lean and everything, but I wasn't really listening to Bladee like that. This will forever be Blade's awesomest music, dopest music ever. I guess I'm gonna kind of have that nostalgia with Icedancer because of awesome songs like Be Nice to Me, but Mall Whore Freestyle One of my favorites is Jaws. Jaws is so good, dude. Literally, bro, like every song on here is just a whole ass vibe. It's kind of like that Young Lean type of collective, but Bladee does not make nearly like that same type of music to me. So it's cool how everybody has a different type of sound. In Icedancer, for sure, I was listening to that repeatedly. No, I think it's kind of funny because I'm not really like a show off type of person. Like I'm not really high designer brands or anything like that. And sometimes they be rapping about that with Bladee and Young Lean even. And I'm just like, damn, not relatable, but I could see where that's fun. I could see where having that entire wardrobe and looking cool and all this stuff, I'm just like, damn. And I be seeing some pictures of Bladee where I'm like, dude, I want to dress like that, but I for surely know I'm going to look ridiculous. So I am not going to wear that. I'm going to let Bladee handle that. I'm going to let Young Lean handle that. I'm going to let Echo 2K handle that, all that. And nothing really crazy to say about Icedancer. I just know for sure if I had to pick like my favorite albums over the past 10 years or whatever, I'm for sure putting Icedancer on that bitch. Okay, now moving on to something very classical, very vibrant. In Utero by Nirvana. Nevermind for sure has like those poppy sounds, those freaking songs where it's like, oh my god, that is so damn catchy, bro. Like on a plane, like everything. I don't even have to say the songs at this point. But In Utero just really grabbed me a little bit more in terms of like, damn, that's kind of sounds a little disturbing, but it's sounding very dope. But I also love those like acoustic songs that they have on here, and I think the acoustic songs freaking dumb. Or freaking, I didn't really like Penny Royalty, but like the guitar on there was freaking dope. All Apologies. I listened to it like senior years when I was trying to get into rock and just trying to get into that, you know, like grunge stuff. So I was listening to a bunch of Nirvana, and this album would really like inspire me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like Kurt Cobain in general made me want to get a guitar. I have a guitar. You know what I'm saying? I play that like every once in a while. Like I don't play it as much as I used to because I'm, you know, just trying to focus on videos and stuff, which is a dumb excuse because you could just pick it up at any point. But my point is like freaking Nirvana made me want to get a guitar, made me want to start making music, made me want to start a band, and I did all that stuff. So 100% Nirvana In Utero. Are you kidding me? Are you ketamine? Are you kidding me, bro? Like for real. This band, this album inspired a bunch of people, including Dump Toes. It's hella cringe at this point because, you know, like I've grown up a little bit, but in like 2019, I had my car, right? Yeah, 2019, I'm still in high school. I'm about to graduate, but I can drive now. I could go to the parking lot at school. I could just, you know, whatever. I wouldn't blast music, but I would be listening to like Nirvana and shit. I'm like, dude, nobody at this school knows what the fuck this is, bro. Like, I'm literally a level above. So dumb. So stupid. But yeah, dude, I was just listening to it like crazy. Love me Nirvana, bro. They make me, even to this day, bro, they make me feel like so many emotions, bro. Intensity, it gets me amped up. It gets me feeling like sad sometimes. Makes me appreciate stuff too. I don't know. A lot of people say Nirvana's overrated, but to me personally, I don't understand that. But it is what it is. I ain't gonna hate. It is what it is. Moving on to Floral Green. And Floral Green to me was like post-COVID, like, dude, I'm so late to a bunch of shit, which is kind of crazy because I've made a dope following, just having a bunch of people just talk about music and shit. And this came out in 2012. Now keep in mind, 2012, I'm playing Minecraft, I'm watching Prime Barcelona play, pooping out my butt. You know what I'm saying? So I was like 11 years old, but you know how it is. So I wasn't really listening to it, wasn't up to date. You know, I didn't have an older brother or older sibling to tell me like, hey, you got to be listening to this music goes crazy. So I kind of had to find it myself. I found Title Fight. Like I go back and forth with like Shed and stuff, but Floral Green really is that Title Fight sound. Title Fight grew into like who Title Fight truly is. And I've grown a humongous appreciation for this band, for this music. I could be listening to this song, I'm just like, bro, I'm about to cry right now, bro. Like, I'm about to tear up right now. But yeah, dude, all hits, no misses on here. I've interviewed Ned Russin, who's in Glitterer, also a dope-ass band. So yeah, that was like off the bucket list, kind of crazy moment for me. It's emotional, fast-paced. I'm introduced to some like shoegazy type of action with like Head in the Ceiling, or like In Between isn't really like a shoegaze type of thing, but it kind of has that like guitar fucking twang to it where I'm like, okay, That's fire. Okay, moving on. Of course, I had to have Hum on here. You'd Prefer an Astronaut. If I had to like break it down into like why this really shaped me, I feel like this album really made me appreciate so much more about like music in general, all that shit, because at this point, I'm kind of like, I need the lyrics to be awesome, I need the singing to be awesome, I need all that shit. But with Hum, the vocals to me are so different and so badass because it's like nonchalant, it's like analytical, it's very smart, it sounds personal. It sounds amazing, bro. I could listen to this album forever, top to bottom, a perfect album in my opinion. And a lot of people either love Hum or hate Hum because they think they're overrated or trash or whatever. And you could stay on that overrated side. I'm not going to be mad at you because more Hum loving for me. And like from a relationship standpoint, bro, like it reminds me of my beautiful Alexa. So there's that other type of oomph to the album because there's lyrics in here that make me feel like, goddamn, bro. Like the way Matt Talbot describes all this like love and shit or whatever it may be. I feel like that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that whenever I'm staring at my beautiful lady. Last album on my list is Moments of Clarity by Narrowhead, and I know this only released 2 years ago, but goddamn, dude, there hasn't been an album better than this album in my opinion. And maybe it's just because 2023 was one of those years for me where it was like 2016 where everybody just reminisces about 2016 and I was there, so 2016 was awesome. Anyways, 2023, Moments of Clarity, Narrowhead. I don't think an album has to be old or like, you have to be a kid to listen to an album for it to mean a lot to you and shape you as a human. This album to me is like, this is what I would want my band to sound like. Like I would sound like a ripoff Narrowhead. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, Narrowhead's not even that crazy. Like it's not even like the craziest music you'll ever hear. But to me, every band is trying to sound like Narrowhead. And I'm not saying Narrowhead is like this generational, original sounding type of band. Like sure, you got some Helmet in there. You got some Deftones in there, sure. But when I interviewed them, like, bro, there's so much more to it, bro. You got some emo influences in there, some Sunny Day Real Estate. There's so much more to this band. And I feel like everything is wrapped together nicely by the vocals by Jacob Duarte. You hear that, man, you listen to him, and I'm just like, you instantly recognize what bro is all about. You instantly recognize the song, lyrics, everything, the moment, and I'm just like, god damn. And not just singing, but bro could scream his ass off, and I'm just like, dude, this is modern day, I guess you could say, like Deftones, I guess, but to me they're just so catchy, so good, bro, so damn good. And I can't wait for a new album, bro. It's been fucking 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Like albums take time, so I'm not really tripping about it. Oh no, it inspired me a lot, dude. Inspired me a lot, and I could tell that inspired a lot of other bands too, because there's some bands out there that are trying to sound like Narrowhead, and Narrowhead's been doing this for like a decade at this point. Those are albums that shaped me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know your whole list of bands and albums and all that stuff, because I want to listen to some stuff if I've never heard of it, and I'd like to be interested in your journey. Like and subscribe, keep the music alive. Albums that shaped me. Dumb Toes 2025.